So I ordered a bikini from this brand, and I got the package yesterday, and I opened it, and immediately I could see that I didn't get my order. I got someone else's order, right? So I go to open my email and like let them know, hey, like I got the wrong package. And they already knew. They emailed me and said, hey, you got the wrong package. Here's a code. If you can send it back to us, we're going to get you yours. Okay, fine. But since I had already opened it, I was like, let me see. And I see on the receipt, it's like multiple swimsuits for like a baby, like size 12 to 18 months. And I was like, okay, I didn't even know that this brand made swimsuits for babies, right? Or kids at that matter, for that matter. But I opened this and I'm so sorry. Like, call me a prude, I guess. Call me old school, but I'm not gonna lie, I do think this is a fucking crazy top for a baby, size 12 months. This is the top. I'm trying to hide the tag because I don't want to put the brand on blast, but it's weird, right? Like, what baby needs scrunch butt bottoms, and little tiny string bikini tops? I'm so sorry, but like, call me a prude, I guess, but like, this to me is so crazy. Like, as a mom, you are spending money to dress a baby, 12-month-old baby, in a string bikini and scrunch butt bottoms. Why? Riddle me that. This is a fucking crazy top for a baby, size 12 months. This is the top. I'm trying to hide the tag because I don't want to put the brand on blast, but it's weird, right? Like, what baby needs scrunch butt bottoms and little tiny string bikini tops? I'm so sorry, but like, call me a prude, I guess, but like, this to me is so crazy.
It is crazy. And as a mom and an apparel designer, this is something I have been screaming about for years. Look at this. I was working on developing some board shorts for a swim program back in 2023, and I got these two samples to look at from Columbia, a toddler boy and a toddler girl board short. And look at the cut of these shorts. The boys is very straight, obviously longer inseam, pretty basic looking board short, right? And then with the girls, they actually cut it to taper in at the waist to give a toddler girl an hourglass figure as a baby. And this is like a really, kind of subtle example, but just insane, because boys and girls don't actually start measuring differently and being shaped differently until they hit puberty. The sexualization of women and young girls begins from literal birth with the way we create children's clothing. Look at this. I find this really fascinating. If I search toddler girls swimsuits on Target's website, I have to scroll through 131 listings before I get to a swimsuit that doesn't have a bikini cut bottom. Technically, the 81st slot is one that has a short, but it's an adaptable swimsuit, so it's designed for children with disabilities, but a purely regular listing not designed for a child with disabilities takes me 131 listings to get to one, versus searching toddler boy swimsuit. Instantly, the first thing is a board short, right? With like standard expected coverage. You keep scrolling, you get a lot more of the 2-piece sets. Rash guards with shorts. Like a swimsuit. The purpose a swimsuit should serve, which is sun protection. Not being cute. Not being sexy. I could rant about this for hours. I've been ranting about this for years, like I said. And I'll keep ranting about it until they put me 6 feet under.
Well, they are training young girls to be exactly what we want them to be. And when I say we, I mean society. No, really, because what would make people design such an outfit? What would make that type of design? What would make you to want such a design, even as a parent, for your child? As much as I'm holding the brand accountable, I just don't know what would get a parent to that point of saying, yeah, this one is like a proper outfit for a child. Like, logically thinking, Jay, logically thinking, like, what would get you as a parent to that point of saying, this is what I want to buy? For a minor. Do you understand? It's high time we hold people accountable for their actions. I don't know, like, honestly. So it's interesting to look at it when you think of it in that way. And I don't know much about swimsuits, and I wanted to share this. And I was like, I'm disappointed. Like, I'm really disappointed for how we dress children, for how we engage with children. Like, we don't respect them. We don't respect children as young people, and we feel like children ought to respect the elders, but the elders don't do any respecting for themselves, and the adults are designing costumes as though they are designing costume for adults. And I really want to see the people who approved those types of, they're cute, they're in fashion, yeah, but they're children. I think their skin are more sensitive for such things. I think at the earlier stages, in fact, I believe at the earlier stages, that is the most important thing. Protection of the sun radiation for the child's skin. You're going into the ocean. Really, really interesting to think about. You're going into the ocean, you have sun as though they're adults. I feel like sun protection, as you said, is the utmost important thing. Utmost care.